This is the wrap-up of the morning show for Tuesday, October 27th. We had the beginning of the new week. We had a weakening of the US dollar, mostly due to new home sales in the United States, which disappointed with 468,000, 13% drop. We had it more impacting euro-dollar, which managed to recover from the lows of 110, managed to reach 110.70. It got a big blow from Draghi last week. 110.70 first resistance, then 11.30, 112.15. On the downside, we have 109.50 and 108.10, which is critical support. Okay. Elsewhere, we had mixed IFO data from Germany and weak New Zealand trade balance, but New Zealand dollar is more or less in range. Big event for today. We have the big event for the morning, UK GDP. This is the calendar. We're expecting 0.6% quarter over quarter, 2.4 year over year, more or less like last month, like last quarter. The data is for Q3, and this can determine the next move of the pound. Currently, cable is in a narrow range between 152.82. 153 to 153.70. Higher range extends to 155, low range to 153. Okay, 152. This will determine which range the pair trades in. Dollar yen returning to the magnate, which is 120, sliding from, like we've seen it beforehand, rising from the bottom. Now it's sliding from the highs. Bank of Japan's decision on Friday is critical. We're expecting at the moment, I believe, that we'll have more QE just because of what Draghi did and what China did. Talk about that more in detail in the next shows. Dollar CAD moving higher, 132.20, 133 on the top side, 131.20, 130.70 on the downside. Oil is critical for Canada. There's too much oil floating around. We'll have the inventories data tomorrow to determine the next direction. Kiwi dollar has supported 67, resistance at 69. It's also waiting its own rate decision tomorrow, 2 hours after the Fed. No changes expected officially, but who knows? The Reserve Bank of New Zealand cut rates twice. 3 times this year. Aussie dollar expects CPI data and expectations are for stronger inflation in Australia. Currently range bound 72.50, resistance 72.80 and 74, support 72 and 71. Okay, quickly let's talk about currencies we didn't talk about beforehand. I believe there's intervention by the Swiss National Bank here in dollar Swiss and 98.30. It's not only a weaker euro, it's also the Swiss National Bank trying to weaken the Swiss franc. So we're actually quite close to resistance here at 98.50. High resistance, of course, parity, 96.40 and 95.70 is support. Please note that there's lots of intervention here, so trade with care. Euro Swiss, that's why you've seen it move back from the lows. You see it slipped below 108, and then we had some kind of intervention probably from the Swiss National Bank. High resistance 110, lower support 107.50. More big events for today. We have in the United States durable goods orders at 12:30 GMT. No changes expected in the core figure. This is critical for investment. Then we have house prices and consumer confidence, which was surprisingly high last time at 103, and more of the same is expected there. So all in all, markets are getting a bit more busy. We've seen the dollar correct to the downside after the huge gains on Friday. Is this over? I believe perhaps if we have okay data, the dollar could resume its strength and move to the top side. So that's the wrap for today.